Hi there, Richard here today. Again, I'm talking about what is Palm Sunday. I'll go into it. So Palm Sunday is the Sunday that Jesus enters into Jerusalem on a colt, and it's his triumphal entry into Jerusalem. And it's called Palm Sunday because they put down their cloaks and their palm branches or leaves of palm trees down in front of him as he rode into Jerusalem. So it's in the Bible in 4 passages. I'm just going to use the Luke one. So I'm just going to use Luke chapter 19, verse 28. After Jesus had said this, he went on ahead, going up to Jerusalem. As he approached Bethphage and Bethany at the hill called the Mount of Olives, he sent 2 of his disciples, saying to them, "Go to the village ahead of you, and as you enter it, you will find a colt tied there, which no one has ever ridden. Untie it and bring it here. If anyone asks you, 'Why are you untying it?' say, 'The Lord needs it.'" Those who were sent ahead went and found it just as Jesus had told them. As they were untying the colt, its owners asked them, "Why are you untying the colt?" And they replied, "The Lord needs it." They brought it to Jesus. They threw their cloaks on the colt and put Jesus on it. As he went along the road, people spread their cloaks on the road. When he came near the place where the road goes down to the Mount of Olives, the whole crowd of disciples began to joyfully to praise God in loud voices for all the miracles they had seen. "Blessed is the King who comes in the name of the Lord. Peace in heaven and glory in the highest." Some of the Pharisees in the crowd said to Jesus, "Teacher, rebuke your disciples." Because they saying that to Jesus because they knew that this was Psalm 118, which is a messianic prophecy. They knew it was. That's why they're asking him. They're asking Jesus to rebuke his disciples because they are acknowledging Jesus as the Messiah. And what does Jesus reply? He says in verse 40, "I tell you," he replied, "if they keep quiet, the stones themselves will cry out." As he approached Jerusalem and saw the city, he wept over it and said, "If you, even you, had only known on this day what would bring you peace. But now it is hidden from your eyes. The days will come upon you when your enemies will build an embankment against you and encircle you and hem you in on every side. They will dash you to the ground, you and your children, within your walls. They will not leave one stone on another, because you, the Jews, did not recognize the time of God's coming to you." And what's so sad about this is the fact that they should have known. There were so many prophecies, about 100 or so prophecies in the Old Testament about the coming Messiah, about who he was, where he was born, where he would live, what he would do, how he would, even in Daniel 9, there's a prophecy given whereby you can tell by the number of time that went forth from that prophecy, you can tell exactly when Jesus was going to enter in to the city of Jerusalem on his triumphal entry on Palm Sunday. If the Jews who really knew the Bible, they should have been able to tell the time that this actually was their Messiah. And they should have been welcoming Jesus as the Messiah rather than saying that it was blasphemy. It was obvious Jesus had done all the works of the Messiah, but they just did not want to believe. It was so sad. Anyway, so that's what Palm Sunday is about. It's about Jesus' triumphal entry into Jerusalem on the Sunday before his crucifixion. Anyway, thanks very much. That's all for today. Bye. One quick thing I forgot to say about Palm Sunday is that the people are crying out and shouting out Psalm 118, which is a messianic prophecy. This was the one and only time in all of Jesus' ministry that he let people publicly acknowledge him as the Messiah, as the triumphant entry of the Messiah into Jerusalem. So this is the one time he lets people publicly and out loud and openly acknowledge that he is the Messiah. Thanks.